Day 90 of nonconformity company journey. Believe it or not, I've just had a haircut. I don't know what to talk about today. It's quite a weird thing to create something from nothing. And yeah, you're going to get feedback from time to time, which you need to take on board, but you also need to, I guess, take it with a pinch of salt, because it's when you're doing something that's you've been passionate about for a long time and you're still forming it, it's people around you aren't going to see it as you see it. So it's good to listen to feedback. Everybody will have an opinion. I guess when you start something, you'll start to get people saying things, which is good because you're getting feedback, and it can get a bit uncomfortable because your ego is going to defend yourself and not probably want to listen to that feedback. But I guess it's also that people won't really see it how you see it as yet, especially if it's just forming. And that's what the ideas of these videos were, for me to get better at communicating and educating and work out some of the tech tools and the editing and get that down, because it does take energy, obviously, to get into the video mode and get ideas every day. Some days I don't have any ideas and just start talking and see what comes out. I just want to do an authentic journey. So really for me, but then also once nonconformity company gets successful, the idea is to inspire and educate and show people different routes that they can take to start building online businesses so they can make money from different income streams, so they get more freedom. It's all about freedom. So we're showing you different ways to gain more freedom in your life. And so the idea of us doing the journal was, I think, when I did video 1, I was just like, right, I've had enough. Like, there's so much, I just need to begin this now and stop umming and ahhing. So it was kind of to start to do the videos gets you thinking more, because you've got to kind of keep pushing things forward. So I really did these videos just for me, but then with the hope, only last minute I put day 1, day 2, day 3, on them. So I was thinking, right, if on like day 462 I get noticed and I'm like taking money and people really start to notice the company and it gets some traction, maybe some articles, maybe some reposts. It's like we've said about the long tail. We're on the very shallow beginning of the long tail before it goes exponential. We don't know when that exponential point's going to be, but we've just got to keep going until we get there. And that's what I said, we're not giving up. And that's why doing a daily video keeps the momentum going for me. And yeah, just hoping that once it gets there, people who then come in and find it, then more and more people will start finding it, and they'll be like, oh wow, this started all the way back like a year and a half ago or something. Let's go and see what was going on then. What was the thought process going on? Because this is looking really good now, but like, how did it begin? What was he thinking? So I just want to show. So I'm not really editing the videos, and sometimes I'm not in the mood. Sometimes I might not be very energetic. Sometimes I might not be very happy. Sometimes happy, jovial, and really feeling the vibe and feeling inspired. But that's life. Like, every day is a different day. And sometimes I'll be feeling really pumped about, I guess most of the time I am. But then other days I will question it. Other days I will be like, what am I doing? What is going on? Because I'm creating something from nothing. And that is always, it's not easy to do. We've said the analogy before. It takes the rocket that goes off to outer space. 80% of the fuel is used up in that first 20%. So that's where I'm at the minute. I'm just trying to get the momentum going off the ground. So I'm using a lot of energy, a lot of testing and experimenting to see what this is all about. But I'm really proud of myself for doing 90 videos in a row, starting on June the 1st. We're now the end of August, just about. So that's an achievement for me. So I think I've experimented with different vibes and critically analysed myself, and some of those were filler words that I was using. You knows a lot. I still use them a bit, but it is part of language. And so then when I come to do my online courses and build some more educational journeys, my language, my dialect, my flow, my rhythm, my message should be a lot better, because I've got a lot better at talking to the camera and publishing these videos. I've read so many people that were like famous speakers or comedians or anything, and before they got famous, they obviously practiced a lot themselves, although they did so much like smaller clubs and practice. The Beatles, in a book by Malcolm Gladwell, the Malcolm Gladwell. It's a book called Outliers, and Malcolm Gladwell's a really good author. He comes out with like a really interesting book every 2 or 3 years. And he said in there, the Beatles, the reason that they got so famous, talks about the 10,000 hour rule in there. And if anybody puts 10,000 hours into a skill, hobby or something, they're going to become a pretty much an expert. And the Beatles blasted onto the scene in England, and everybody, then they just went crazy to start with. But their manager had them in, I think, Berlin, Germany, somewhere in Germany, Hamburg or Munich, somewhere in Germany, where they were just doing night after night, playing hours and hours and hours at these club nights. And I can't remember the exact calculations, but he was saying like by the time they'd even launched one single in England, they'd already done something like 6,000 hours of like online stage playing, doing covers and starting to do some of their own tracks. So they were just well accustomed to playing live on stage. And that's, you know, we just saw the first track probably when people were growing up and like, wow, they're amazing. But they'd done all of this previous work on stage that nobody really saw. And it was really interesting to read about in the book. So I guess that's what I'm doing. I'm just practicing at the moment and to get better. We can't improve nothing, we can only improve something. So I'm trying to bring something to see where it goes. And only when you delve in a bit, like what I said yesterday, just begin something, begin thinking about, get a website, begin thinking about what online business you can do, because that's the first steps. It's hard to know all of the steps, and it's quite interesting and well, more fun to not know all of the steps, and because it should keep evolving and keep moving. So it's about making the first step or two towards something, which can be scary because it takes up most amount of energy. It's scary. You're going to get a bit uncomfortable, but that's the point. Starting something, and then only then you can continue and start to delve and get a bit deeper and see which way it wants to go. So yeah, my message is freedom. It's about educating yourself and keep learning different things, trialing different things, and designing the life that you want, sorting the past, organizing the present, and designing the future, because we don't have long. So that's my message with this, and I'm just trying to provide tools in the form of businesses, an education that show you like the different things that are available. You connect them to things that you're into, or things around you, people around your life, different groups of people around your life, things that you can see, and yeah, make some businesses that are closer to your heart that you can help other people with, or that you just are into. And then you can start to evolve your life more forward, and have a bit more control for yourself, because you'll be in charge, you'll be the boss. So if that's for you, then that's what we're about. All right, thanks for watching.